The modern man moves through the world as a ghost of his former self, a hollowed-out vessel leaking his most precious life force into the void without even realizing the theft that is taking place. Deep within the shadows of existence, a silent crisis is draining the vitality of the masculine spirit, leaving behind a trail of exhausted minds and weakened wills. You have felt it in the heavy fog that settles over your brain after a momentary release, the sudden drop in confidence, and the nagging suspicion that you are operating at only a fraction of your true capacity. Before we dive into the secrets of semen retention power, make sure you subscribe now and join our Telegram family. The link's in the description. Don't miss the exclusive insights and daily motivation that will keep your energy, focus, and discipline unstoppable. Your success journey starts today. The secret to shattering these chains and reclaiming your throne lies in a practice so ancient and potent that it has been whispered in the halls of temples and the caves of masters for millennia. This is the path of the sacred seed, a journey into the heart of internal alchemy, where the very essence of your life is not squandered, but harnessed to fuel a transformation that defies common logic. Imagine a reality where your energy never dips, where your presence commands the room, and where the fire in your eyes never flickers out. You may have already stepped onto this path of retention, feeling the initial surge of power, only to find yourself trapped in a frustrating paradox of desire. Many men reach a plateau where they feel stuck, dissatisfied with the choice between total abstinence and the soul-crushing drain of a finish. They fear that intimacy will inevitably lead to weakness, or they find themselves edging on the precipice of a void, unable to find true fulfillment without breaking their sacred vow. There is a hidden bridge between these two worlds, a third way that allows a man to experience the summit of ecstasy without sacrificing a single drop of his vitality. Through the forgotten arts of internal circulation, it is possible to achieve a state of being where the peak of pleasure is separated from the act of depletion. This is not a myth or a fable. It is a biological reality that has been hidden from the masses to keep the masculine spirit docile and is illy managed. If you have ever considered stopping your journey because the tension felt too great, I am here to tell you that the most magnificent part of the transformation is just beyond that struggle. By mastering the internal fire, one can experience the height of physical joy multiple times in a single encounter and emerge stronger, sharper, and more magnetic than before. The pleasure found in this state is unmatched by the hollow, draining sensations that the world has conditioned you to accept as the norm. The journey you're about to embark upon requires a psychological revolution and a total deprogramming of everything you have been taught about your own body. Most men are completely clueless about the reservoir of power sitting at the base of their spine, waiting to be directed upward toward the higher centers of the mind. Today, that ignorance ends as we delve into the specific methodology of becoming a man of infinite energy. Moving from the darkness of depletion into the light of absolute self. To begin this transformation, you must first align your life with the natural rhythms of the universe, recognizing that your energy is a finite resource that must be managed with the precision of a master craftsman. Ancient philosophies stress that balance and harmony are the keys to a sustainable life, and sexual energy is the most potent form of that harmony. When this force is channeled through the right internal pathways, it becomes the very source of enlightenment and the fuel for your highest ambitions. This practice is not merely about what you keep for yourself, but about the frame you hold when engaging with the world and your partner. True power comes from shifting your mindset from one of taking to one of giving, where your presence becomes a source of nourishment rather than a vacuum of need. Semen retention grants a man a level of vitality and mental clarity that turns every encounter into a sacred exchange of energy, fostering spiritual growth and an unshakable emotional well-being. The frustration many feel on this path stems from the false association between the peak of sensation and the act of release. We have been conditioned to believe they are the same event, but in reality, they are two distinct biological processes that can be uncoupled through dedicated training. When you stop chasing the finish and start cultivating the internal glow, the frustration of holding back vanishes, replaced by an invigorating sense of boundless power. It may take months of disciplined practice to rewire your nervous system for this new level of existence, but the reward is a life of total freedom. You must set firm boundaries with yourself, acknowledging that in every moment of high intensity, you are standing on the edge of a blade. The risk of spilling your essence is always present, but it is within this tension that the strongest version of your character is forged. The first step in your training is the absolute separation of the physical peak from the biological discharge. You must teach your mind that you can attain the involuntary contractions and the rush of bliss without the subsequent collapse and drain of prolactin. By doing this, your strength does not subside, and your drive does not weaken. You simply continue to operate at a high frequency, fueled by the very energy that others throw away. Before you can master the internal peak, you must adhere to a strict schedule of preservation based on your biological age and your current level of vitality. This is the foundation of the work, allowing your body to build the necessary pressure and reserves to sustain the higher states of consciousness. If you have been depleted recently, you must double your efforts of preservation to ensure that your internal systems are fully charged before you attempt the deeper practices. Mastery of the breath is your primary tool in this battle for self-control. In moments of high intensity, your breath must become the anchor that keeps you from being swept away by the current of instinct. You must learn to lead with your lungs, slowing your rhythm and focusing your awareness on the point of power located just beneath the navel. This is the center of your gravity, the place where the fire is refined and prepared for its journey upward. Visualization is the map that guides the energy through your body. As the intensity builds, you must see a point of concentrated light within your core, holding your focus there with the intensity of a laser. This tactic, used by masters of internal arts for centuries, allows you to hover at the very edge of the threshold without crossing it. It transforms a moment of potential loss into a moment of internal expansion. The dance with the threshold is where the real training occurs. You must learn to navigate the point of no return with absolute awareness, approaching the limit and then consciously drawing back, again and again. This is a process of pushing the boundaries of your nervous system, expanding your capacity for pleasure while maintaining a lock on your life force. Every time you successfully navigate this edge, your internal power grows. The physical gatekeeper of this process is the pelvic floor, the group of muscles that act as the hydraulic brakes for your sexual system. Strengthening these muscles through consistent internal contractions is a foundational requirement for anyone seeking the path of the multi-orgasmic male. You are building the physical infrastructure to hold back the tide of instinct, creating a vessel that can contain the immense pressure of your own vitality. After months of this shadow boxing with your own biology, you will eventually experience a breakthrough. It will be a pulsation that feels internal and deep, a rush of joy that does not result in the loss of your essence. This is the first internal peak, and though it may seem weak or unfamiliar at first, it is the most significant milestone on your journey. It is the proof that you have successfully rewired your system to operate on a higher plane. Do not be discouraged by the subtlety of these early internal experiences. The path to power is a slow climb, and the strength of these peaks will grow as your body becomes more accustomed to the internal circulation of energy. You are deprogramming a lifetime of faulty habits, and the physical results will eventually mirror the mental clarity and spiritual strength you are cultivating. The danger at this stage is the temptation to return to old patterns out of a desire for the familiar, heavy release. You must resist the urge to equate a finish with fulfillment. True fulfillment is found in the sustained state of God mode, where your eyes remain bright and your spirit remains undiminished. Long after the moment has passed, you are joining the ranks of the elite few who understand the true potential of the masculine body. Maintaining your schedule of preservation is critical during this training phase. If you allow yourself to be drained too frequently, you will find it impossible to cultivate the internal pressure necessary for these higher states. Your body is a laboratory of biological alchemy, and you must respect the time it takes to produce the most potent results. Use the general guidelines of the masters, but learn to listen to the specific needs of your own unique physiology. As you progress, the techniques that once required intense conscious effort will become natural and subconscious. The breathwork, the visualizations, and the muscle control will eventually merge into a single, fluid state of being. You will no longer be trying to retain you. You will simply be living as a man who is fully integrated, moving through the world with a quiet, unshakable power that others can feel but cannot explain. It is vital to continue this training, even when you feel you have achieved a level of mastery. If you declare victory too early and abandon the discipline, you may find that your old habits are waiting to pull you back into the cycle of depletion. The goal is to make this internal circulation your default state, a natural part of your intimate life that requires no thought but brings immense reward. The emotional release that men often seek through depletion can be found in a much more profound way through the internal peak. With practice, these internal waves will bring a sense of peace and connection that far surpasses the momentary lapse of consciousness found in the standard finish. You are learning to feel the full spectrum of your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, a hallmark of the superior man. Most of the world remains ignorant of this potential, trapped in a loop of desire and drain that keeps them perpetually exhausted and easy to control. This information has been hidden or distorted for generations, but the tools for your liberation are now within your grasp. You must have the patience and the courage to walk this path, knowing that the journey itself is the reward. Be aware of the phenomenon of internal congestion, where too much intensity without the proper channels of release can lead to physical tension. You must learn your own limits, discovering how many internal peaks your system can handle before you need to rest and integrate the energy. This is the art of self-knowledge, a process of trial and error that will eventually lead to a perfectly balanced life. Approach your journey with a mindset of selflessness and spontaneous joy. If you become too focused on the technical aspects or the selfish pursuit of your own power, you will miss the beauty of the exchange. The most successful practitioners are those who remain present and giving, using their newfound energy to uplift themselves and those around them. The path of the solo practitioner is fraught with hidden dangers and psychological traps. You must avoid the abyss of self-gratification and focus your efforts on real, meaningful connections. Training your body in a vacuum can lead to a distorted relationship with your own energy, making it difficult to perform when the stakes are high. The point of this power is to enhance your life in the world, not to retreat from it into a cycle of solitary habits. Your journey on the path of retention is a testament to your desire for excellence and your refusal to settle for a mediocre existence. The fire you are cultivating is the same fire that has fueled the greatest achievements of mankind, and when you master it, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Stay patient, stay disciplined, and never forget that your life force is your most sacred possession. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. The world needs men who are fully alive, men who possess the clarity of mind and the strength of spirit to lead and inspire. By reclaiming your seed and mastering your internal peaks, you are becoming a beacon of hope in a world of shadows. The transformation is waiting for you, just beyond the threshold of your own willpower. The choice is yours: to remain a shadow, leaking your life away, or to step into the light of absolute self-mastery. The bridge is before you, and the power is within you. Cross it today and never look back, for the man you were meant to become is waiting on the other side of this sacred discipline.